Metalheads Radio. We're live here at HRH 12 up in Pulteley, windy and wet Pulteley. Looking forward to the set from Eden's Curse, and I'm pleased to say we've got Paul Logue with me.
Hi there.
How are you?
I'm very well, yes.
Good, you enjoying the weather? You're out on tour with Michael Schenker at the moment, aren't you?
We are, yes.
Yeah, how's it going?
It's going really well. We've done 2 shows so far. We did our adopted hometown of Glasgow. For the first show, that was a big one at a New York kind of venue called SWG3. Excuse me, that was fantastic, like about 1,000 people there. And then the Institute in Birmingham, and both shows have been great. The guys have been really great treating us. You know, we've got a lot of friends in the band. You know, I've written with Doogie White for a couple of years, and I worked with Chris Glenn actually, and John, our drummer, plays in Chris Glenn's band. So there's a lot of close knit ties, and I'm also Graham Bonnet's booking agent in my day job. So that actually, we got the tour through actually a different connection altogether. And when those guys found out, they were like, "Oh yeah, Eden's Curse, they're a good band." So they were quite pleased for us.
And you played Cardiff last night as well?
We did. We stopped off for a headline show. Yeah, it was a very passionate but small crowd.
Yeah.
Well, we know what we're getting with Cardiff. We'd never played in Cardiff. We've done Swansea maybe 3 or 4 times. And that was the first time we've done the kind of city, but I've worked down there for a couple of years doing some stuff for the BBC, so I've been up and down, and I'd always seen Fuel on my wanderings around, and it was a nice little place, so it's cool to get that gig, but great. Excellent. Nice to play a headline set as well.
So each night you get to see Michael Schenker in action, again tonight, because he's finishing off this Thursday evening. 2006 the band first got together, first formed. Can you take us through the last 12 years in the life of Eden's Curse?
Yeah, in a nutshell. Yeah, so we've basically had 5 studio records. We've done a live album. We've done a kind of DVD recording. Re-recorded our debut album as an anniversary, and now we're best of. A couple EPs thrown in. We've been out on tour with Stratovarius, Dream Theatre, out in Germany with Freedom Call, and we started really our own kind of headline tours when Nick joined the band. That made it a bit more easy for us to kind of do live work, because with the former singer Michael coming from America, we were having to raise anywhere between 2k to get him here anyway, so it was difficult for us, but we did festivals and things. So the first 3 records, it's well documented, were with Mike, and then he left, and we had a false start with an Italian guy. We did a quick single, and we just knew personally it wasn't going to work out. His English wasn't great, but there were other issues at foot there. And we thought, okay, this is going to be quite embarrassing to change singer, but we had to do it for us to actually survive as a band. We had to know what we wanted as individuals, and Marco wasn't the right fit. Amazing vocalist. And then we found Nick, and we've never been happier. And we've lost a couple of keyboard players, but Chris has been fabulous. So it's a really settled lineup. That's one record, re-record, and the best of we've done together, and several tours. So it's going really well. Great chemistry amongst the boys that are here. And I would say, hand on heart, that's the best Eden's Curse lineup yet, because the addition of Chris has lifted things up. He's from a prog background, so we can do a lot more. And actually, it's quite cool to see Thorsten having somebody that can really push him in terms of he would say to Chris, "Can you play this?" And Chris would say, "Yeah, but can you play this?" And we do a lot of unison solos and things, so it's really good. We've now been able to spread some of the more prog influences that we like. It's not out and out prog. There's still things like Queensryche and Dream Theatre in there. We believe in hooks. Hooks are always going to run through our material, but we can maybe have an extended solo section that we wouldn't have done before without boring people.
Well, you mentioned there bands like Freedom Call, Dream Theatre, who are my all-time favourite band. No disrespect to Eden's Curse,
no problem. They're one of mine too. So
would you class your music then as power metal as such? Is there a lot of prog in it you mentioned earlier?
I don't know. I mean, I'm one of these people. To me, it's just rock or metal. It's I think we always have this desire to pigeonhole everything, and sometimes I've heard us being accused of not following one path, but we just write whatever's in our head at that time, and I like the diversity of it, because you can never be bored with an Eden's Curse record. It's not like you have a set formula that you must reproduce on every record. We've pushed the envelope with each album we've done. There's always been one song that we thought, I don't know if the fans will like this, and every time we've pushed it, that particular song has got really good plaudits. So there's influences of prog, there's influences. I mean, my favourite kind of bands when we started the group and the style that we wanted to go was Queensryche, Dokken, big George Lynch influence on the first record. He kind of, I write a lot of the riffs and then give them to Thorsten, who makes them better from when they leave my writing pad. So that's all over it, but there's elements of Dream Theatre and things that were always there, and as we've grown we've been able to push it a little bit more. And Cardinal was the most experimental we've been, but a lot of our fans loved it, and we think it stayed true to the East Curse values that we hold dear.
Well, talking about, say, the new album as such, Testament, it's a double album which looks back over your career as such. There's a lot of good acoustic stuff.
Yeah, there is. Yeah, well. So what the label wanted to do was to make a one kind of CD best of, so someone new to the band could buy it and get within 70 minutes a real strong representation of what we were all about. Also for the avid fan, for them to buy it, we thought, well, we have to make something kind of collector. So we did a new song, we wrote and recorded a new song, and one question we've had over the years, people might not know this, maybe some of the hardcore will, but when we started our career with the debut album, we had 7 record deals around the globe for the first album, and they all had to have individual bonus tracks because of the kind of global laws, and obviously they were in a marketplace with 6 other labels, so if you give one person a bonus track, ours needs to be exclusive as well. We ended up with so many bonus tracks over the year, and we sell well in Japan, so we've always got something additional. So the fans always ask, could you put them all on one disc for us? And for the first time ever we've been able to do that, and that's because a couple of years back we signed a worldwide deal with the AFM, and they now own the rights to all of those tracks, so we were able to do that, and it came out really cool. There's a couple of unreleased tracks there that we've never put out in the public domain before, like a piano version of Children of the Tide, etc., one of Sail On, and that gives it a real kind of fan collector element to it. And the booklet has got a lot of pictures from our career that have never been published from the start right to the finish. I think if you get a hold of it and you're a Eden's Curse fan, there's plenty to be entertained with, put it that way.
Well, if you listen to our breakfast show on Midlands Radio, the album is the album of the week this week.
Very
so
cool.
I know it's Friday tomorrow, but if you get a chance tomorrow to listen to the show, I'll give you all the details.
Yeah, we'll stream that. We've got a very long drive to Newcastle tomorrow, so we can stream that.
So the rest of the tour, is that going to take you to the end of 2018 then?
Yeah, we've got after the tour, some of the guys fly home for kind of 10 days, and then they're back for Winterstorm Festival in Scotland. So we're doing that. Looking forward to that with Jeff Tate and the likes of the Dead Daisies. So that's us for the year. We've started tentatively work on a new record, so that will pick up, and we've got our own headline tour to support Testament in April. So we've got 7 or 8 dates around the UK, and we're bringing Mob Rules, one of my favourite bands from Germany, Degreed with us. We wanted a really strong package to go out and support the album, and that's what we'll do.
That was the next question actually, about the new album. Have you written material?
Yeah, I've written. I haven't shared it with the guys yet. John's done one drum track for me just to check things out, but we've got a little idea of what we would like to do. It's something different that we've not done in terms of the kind of concept behind it. We're exploring that. Whether it comes to fruition or not, I don't know. I usually present the guys with an idea and say, this is what I'm thinking, what do you think, and we'll flesh it out from there, and then we'll start swapping song ideas. But I've got quite a few, but not got anything to a completed stage yet. But once we finish the touring and maybe get Christmas out the way, we'll do, because it's you want a little break. There's a tour like this, actually, people think it's just a week on the road. It's actually the months of preparation, especially with us. When we did the festival in Vasby in Sweden, our set for this tour was picked at that point, so the guys can all go away, concentrate on what they're doing and learn at home. Then we meet up together for a few days in Glasgow, and we'd 24 hours worth of rehearsals solid.
Is that easy to arrange, getting the guys over?
Yeah, I mean, now we've done it for 12 years now. It's just, you don't think about it. It's the same as picking a dude up at the train station that lives in the neighbouring town. It's just an airport.
Yeah.
A little bit more expensive, but I did a price comparison recently when we got priced for a festival in Europe, and they said, "Oh, this is too expensive because you come from abroad." And I actually priced us all leaving from London, and it was 40 quid cheaper. So I said, that doesn't even add up for me. So it's never been cheaper to fly.
With technology as it is at the moment, if you come up with any ideas, maybe even sat here now, you never know, something might come into your mind. You can get it down on your phone, or you can get it somewhere easy to send to the guys when you next have a chance. Have you ever worked that particular way? Have you ever been away from them that length of time where you've passed details on to them?
Well, if you think about this, I mean, that essentially is how this band started. I mean, I even went as far as contacting the Guinness Book of Records to see if there was any other band classed as an E-band. So, our producer Dennis Ward, who we work with all the time, he's kind of Unisonic and Pink Cream 69. He was saying, you guys are 10 years ahead of everybody. They're all doing it the way that you do it now. And the key thing for me was finding guys like Thorsten and Pete Newdeck at the time, who were bloody good producers as well as musicians. And that was the key thing that could make this work for us.
Paul, thank you very much indeed for your time, mate. Tony. I appreciate that. Midlands Metalheads Radio live at HRH 12 with Paul Logue from Eden's Curse.